right on time. Namaste, everyone. So wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with my dear friend, Alina Apostol from Romania. You met her, hopefully. I know a lot of you were on IG Live with us last month, and we just made a plan that we're going to, for the rest of this year at least, right? We are going to be here every month for you. Now, astrology is something that I really don't know a lot about, but I'm so fascinated about it. I'm so curious, and the more that I get to hang out with this woman, and the more that I kind of understand what's happening in the stars and as it relates to my own signs, I kind of find myself navigating my life a little bit more from that place, from the schedule in the sky rather than the schedule of the society or everyone around me. I kind of feel like I want at this phase in my life to look up for advice, not sort of, on this plane, like why not elevate, yeah? So we have a lovely evening here for you. We have an hour with you tonight, and what we're going to do is a very gentle 15 to 20 minute yoga practice, because I want to get so into all this juicy stuff, right? This yoga practice is just to help us to unwind, get out of our heads, into our hearts, and kind of just wake up the body parts that are associated with this Aquarius moon. So ankles, shins, calves, circulatory system. So just a little shaky stuff like I like to. Wake up circulatory system, work a little bit on those body parts, and then get ready for this great talk. And what I'm super excited about, what I asked Alina to do tonight, is what she did. So by the way, for those just joining us, Alina has, since I met her, which I think now has been like 2014 maybe?
Yeah, 6 years. I
6 years, 6 years. So I just met you when you came.
Yes.
Oh wow. So from the moment I met her, anytime I was doing a live event, whether it was a 2-day or weekend event or a week-long yoga retreat, I would ask Alina to come along as a guest and talk about her, talk about astrology and also and the moon, and also to have private one-on-one astrology readings for my clients, because I just feel like it's a time when you go on a retreat to really go a little bit deeper into the meaning of life and into your relationship with life. And so we've worked together for 6 years, and it's just been so great, and it's just brought a whole new awareness to my life. And I just want to learn more. So I'm being very selfish, using all of us an opportunity to learn more from Alina. So after the 20-minute yoga practice, as promised, we're going to grab a glass of wine, and we're going to go onto that beautiful green couch here. And we're going to talk about the phases of the moon. So if you look in the sky, you will realize that tomorrow is the full moon, August 3rd.
They can see the moon.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's been raining all day here in Kingston, Jamaica. So tomorrow will be the full moon. So we're going to talk about what a full moon means in terms of the energetic component of your life. What's advisable to do during a full moon? What's advisable to do during a new moon? And so on and so forth. So we're going to talk about that, which is so interesting. And then, as promised, we're going to dive more deeply into this particular full moon, which is in Aquarius. And Alina says, don't think that things are getting quiet. They're only going to be.
No. And this one is not quiet.
This one is not quiet.
Tell me how it feels, and it feels disruptive.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it.
I don't know about you, but I've had today, since yesterday, like the most emotional 24 hours that I've had in months. And there's been so many more reasons to be emotional the last months, but just, now, I don't know, but something has been coming through me. And so we're just going to explore that. And what I love that we're going to do tonight, or Alina is going to do, is talk about specifically to your sign. So we'll go through from Aries to Capricorn, and we will talk about what this particular moon and what these next 30 days mean for you and for your sign. So stay tuned, stay with us. All right, let's get started. Quick yoga stretch. I'm in my time. A little essential oil of bergamot. What a bergamot is for balance and beauty. All right. Please rub your hands together vigorously. If you don't have oils, it's okay. Rub your hands together. Create some heat in your hands and make the mind-body connection. So kind of plug in to this moment and allow yourself, give yourself permission to let everything else go. Good. Speed it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then put your right hand on your heart and left hand on top of that. Please sit up nice and tall. If you're sitting in a chair, just let your feet come flat on the floor. And your back press against the chair. Good. Allow the crown of your head to reach up to the beautiful night sky. And let's begin with 3 deep breaths. Good. Breathing in through the crown of the head, allowing the breath to come into your heart center. And as you exhale, please allow anything that is taking you away from this little special moment together tonight to just be released. Good. Inhaling through the crown of the head into the heart. Exhaling anything that's not serving you. One more time. Think about your breath as simply being love and light from up above, from the stars. And as you exhale, allow anything that is not love and light in your heart to be released. Slowly bring your hands together in prayer. Set an intention for this little practice right now and for the rest of this evening. My intention is to just receive all this information and take it in and use it if it feels appropriate and how it feels appropriate. Nice. So as we are working on the calves and the shins, let's first just sit on our heels. So come to just sit on your heels, feeling the tops of the feet on the floor. Good, you're sitting back in your heels. Nice, take a deep breath in, let your arms come over your head. Watch the furniture, and then exhale a big full moon of energy around your body. Bring your hands back to your heart. So a couple more like this. Inhale, arms rise over your head, hold it. And then exhale, imagine you're painting a big, beautiful, luminous full moon around your body. Hands to your heart. Good, one more time. Inhale, arms over your head, hold it. And exhale an even bigger, brighter, luminous moon around hands to heart. Nice, beautiful. From here, please come onto your hands and knees. Curl the toes under, look up, chin up, tailbone up. And then exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. So a couple cat and cows there to loosen up. Inhale, look up, chin up. Good, exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. And one more time, inhale, look up, chin up, tailbone up. Exhale, round your spine up, stay rounded, curl those toes under, pull the knees off the mat, pull the hips back, pull your tummy back. Take your thigh bones, big femur bones, and pull them back. Everything from your waist, pull back, 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 and just stretch out your back. Good, now keep the left foot where it is, the left heel pressing down into the floor, and peel the right foot off your mat. Good, so now you're really feeling the left calf, right? If it's super tight, just blame it on there, carry smooth. And breathe into the back of your left leg. One more delicious breath. Please let your heart just melt in your head and your mind just drop. And then exchange your legs. Bend the left knee into your chest as you press the right heel down, focusing on your calf muscle. Good, one more breath. Exhale, pull that right hip back. And then inhale, just walk out your dog. Exhale, just right to left, coming all the way up onto the balls of your feet. So you're stretching the balls of your feet. Couple more times. Now you're going to snap, crackle, pop. And then slowly come up all the way onto the balls of both feet. So lift the heels up. Yes, come all the way onto the balls. Stretch your toes. Yes, one more breath. And then exhale, drop the heels and lift all 10 toes off the mat. Lift them up. Beautiful. Hello to the calves. And then inhale. You're not going to like this, but it's just part of the process. Come on your knees. Do not release the toes. You're going to sit on your heels.
Yeah.
Let me turn this way so you can see. You're going to sit on your heels. Toes pose, it's called. So the knees are together. You're sitting on the heels. If you have any escape little toes like mine, curl them under. Good. And close your eyes and bring your hands into prayer. And we're going to breathe that beautiful full moon around us. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, big, bright, luminous full moon energy around us. Hands in prayer at the heart. Keep sitting on your heels. Don't run away. Inhale, arms up, creating some energy. Exhale, hands in prayer back to the heart. And one more time, don't run away. Stay with us. You're stretching the soles of your feet. Exhale, hands to heart. And here's the juicy part. Come back to all fours. Release the feet and just pound them out. Pound them out, pound them out. There's a method to my madness. Pound them out. 5, 4, release heels, yours, 3, 2, 1, and then sit back on your heels. Come into child's pose. Bring your hands out in front. You can fold your prayer hands behind your head or whatever child's pose feels good to you. Now close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your feet, to not just your feet and your calves and the tops of your feet, but also to your circulatory system. Breathe. Remember, the feet are the foundation of your body. So feel that energy that you've created, that nice, new, loving awareness into your feet. Take one more delicious deep breath in there. Exhale it out and then inhale. Release the hands. Come back to all fours. Look up, chin up, tailbone out. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Curl the toes under, float the knees off the mat. Come back into that downward dog. Keep the left foot where it is. Gently let the right leg come up to the sky. Look up between your hands with as much yoga grace as you can. Bring that right foot forward. Try to make sure your knee and ankle in one straight line. Good. Let's say hello to the hip flexors. Inhale, drop the left knee down. Good. Exhale, extend. Inhale, drop. Exhale, extend. One more time. Inhale, drop. Exhale, extend. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Take a good evening twist or good morning twist, depending where you are in the world and when you're watching this. One more breath. And then exhale it out. Bring your right hand down. Drop the left heel down, straighten up both legs. Really pull up on the knees of both legs. Your legs are super strong and dynamic. Good. Lift your left arm to the sky. Triangle pose. Now make 3 big circles with your left arm, just loosening up your shoulder joints. Keep your legs nice and strong. Keep looking up at the ceiling. Change direction with your arms again. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your left arm over your head. Look down at your right foot. Good. Frame your right foot with both hands. Take your right foot back to meet the left. Lower knees, chest and chin. Bring your belly to the mat. Press up into cobra. Pulling the shoulders back. Opening up your heart to this evening, to this moment. One more deep breath in. Exhale it out. Curl the toes under. Just give me a little plank here. Yes, a little plank energy for a Sunday night. Why not? Hold and breathe for 5, 4, 3. Calm the breath down. Stay steady. 2, 1. Deep breath. And then exhale. Pull your back, belly back, thighs back. Stretch your back. Stretch your calves. Good. One more time. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. It kind of feels really good. Exhale, drop the heels. Lift all 10 toes off your mat. Lift them up. Spread them apart. And then inhale, bring the toes down. Lift the heels one more time. And then drop the heels and float the left leg up to the sky. Good. Inhale, look up. Bring your left foot forward. Drop the right knee down. Drop the hips. Release the hips and lift your heart. Good. And then moving in and out of it, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the right knee and thigh off the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold it for 5, 4. Press through your back heel. 3, 2, 1. Right hand comes to the inside of your left foot. Good. Take that nice good evening, good morning stretch. Good. Think about the tailbone moving into your body as you inhale, and as you exhale, rotate your right ribs up towards the ceiling. Good. Now let the left hand come down. Drop the right heel down. Straighten up both legs. Your legs are super strong and dynamic. Open up in the other direction. So before we closed our heart, we closed our belly. Now we're opening up, relaxing the tummy and the heart and breathing deeply. Make 3 big circles. Full moon, like you had a big white paintbrush and you're painting a big white full moon in front of you. And then change direction. Breathe. Loosen up. One more breath. Let your right arm come up to the sky. Draw your tummy in and then float all the way up to standing. Good. Bend your left knee. Bring both feet forward. Turn the toes slightly in and the heels out. Good. Now bend the elbows behind you. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulders and palms. Pull the hips back. Inhale deeply and then exhale. Swan dive over your legs. Good. Feel your shoulders. Notice where they are. Take a deep breath in and pull the shoulders away from the ears. Let your shoulder blades dive deep into your upper back. Let your neck get long and you can open up your jaw, make funny movements with your mouth and release any tension there. Good. Now pull up on the knees, engage your thighs and roll the inner thighs back and please for the next 3 breaths. Give yourself permission for your head to be hanging below your heart, for the sweetness in your heart to just drip into your brain, into your mind. Good, and any anxiety, negativity, tension, fear, stress that's in your brain, in your head, let that just drip out from the top of your head to be absorbed by the earth. Take 1 more breath. You can make a big sigh if you need to. And then inhale, please bend your knees, draw the tummy in, press into your heels, keep the squeeze on the shoulders and palms. Slowest 1 minute eraser. When the hand comes up, release the hands, let them float up over your head. Hands in prayer over your head. And then exhale, I can't see you there. Exhale, big circle of energy. And just make your way back down to a seated pose. Beautiful. Can you just come into a cross-legged seat for a moment? To end this practice, bringing the hands on your knees. And I'd like you to visualize the full moon at the back of your head. Yes, just imagine that big, beautiful, luminous, iridescent, incandescent moon is at the back of your head, raying out across the lake of your mind. Imagine that your mind, instead of a turbulent sea, is like a beautiful, still lake. And the bright full moon is just raying out from the back of your head. It's beautiful, illuminating rays of light across the still lake of your mind. With every exhale, the lake becomes a little more still, the light of the moon a little more brighter, illuminating the mind thoughts, knowing what is real, what is illusion. Your breath becoming a little bit more present. The light is so bright now and the lake is so still that you can see the reflection of the mountains in the still lake of your mind. Breath, just allow your mind to be cooled down by these beautiful blue rays of the full moon raying out across the still lake of your mind. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, let your chin come to your chest, your head bow to your heart, and your hands together in prayer. questions,
It
to
was
the
so
nervous
good.
system a little bit.
So good.
And now let's learn. Let's learn. So give us a second. We have to
Set up.
move a little furniture here. Where did we say we're putting this? The
The
computer.
computer here.
All right, just give us a second. Hope you're feeling good. All right, computer here.
I don't know if anyone heard us.
Yes, you can ask if anyone has any questions. I'll pour you a glass of wine, Alina.
Thank you.
You can show me where your wine glasses
No, there. I'm coming. 1 second.
are.
Okay, stay with us for a moment.
Yes. Let me just. All right, so let me adjust here. All right. Yay, this is so nice to be in somebody else's bedroom and living room instead of my own. So if you have any questions, it's in the freezer. If you have any questions, anyone, please just put them there in the Ask a Question section and we'll try to answer them. So basically what we're doing tonight is, as we said earlier, we're going to talk about the 4 main phases of the moon and how they sort of energetically can inform us in how we plan our month and how we plan our business and how we plan our family time and our relationships. Super interesting stuff. I never plan a launch of an online program or a yoga retreat without consulting Alina anymore. Like, I just do that because and every time I do, she goes, "You are so spot on." I don't know how I do that, but yes. So, it's so important. It's so wonderful, should I say? Astrology was never part of my life until very, very recently, and I still don't know anything. But I'm so ready. Thank you so much. Oh yes. Oh boy. I'm so ready.
Give me a second
To
to set up.
be informed by something that's above, something that's ancient, something that was, all the wisdom traditions. Every wisdom tradition in the world used astrology as their guide. I mean,
Yes.
hello, that's, we looked up to above for information.
And
Astrology
said there's above.
There was no Google.
As above as below.
As above as below. So, all right, so cool. So, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
I know this
I
is
broke
not
all
usually.
my glasses.
You
I
broke all your glasses.
Oh, then I got
I hope
the
you
last
had
one.
fun doing that. Remember, if you have any questions, we'll pop in every now and then. And so, first thing is really about the phases of
Yes.
the moon.
Let's tell them what's going on in the sky. I suppose everybody can go outside and see the full moon.
Tomorrow night, the 3rd of August, is the actual full moon. But if you look tonight, it's just gorgeous. Yeah.
A full moon happens when the sun and the moon are opposing each other in the sky. That's why if you follow astrology, you're going to see posts or Instagram posts or articles about the sun being in the constellation of Leo, in the sign of Leo, and the moon being in Aquarius, which is the opposite sign. So the sun and the moon are looking at each other. And I don't know if you know, but the moon has no light of its own. Actually, not just the moon, any body in the sky, they have no light. And then the only light that they receive is through the reflection from the sun, or the absorption of the light of the sun. And this is a good metaphor to understand light, consciousness, which are associated with the sun, and unconscious
Or darkness.
darkness.
So interesting
Shadow.
because this
Yes.
is the work in my mastermind group. Last week, our whole week was on the shadow, and that having the dark is just as important as having the light.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's most of us are so afraid of our light, and we think it's our dark, but we're really afraid to just shine our light. So.
I don't even think we can tap into the light without stepping into the shadow,
Yeah.
into understanding the parts that we don't like about ourselves. So every full moon, we have an opportunity to see the shadow, to see the darkness. because the moon is associated. I mean, even astrology is a patriarchal
I'm so bad at words.
system. Feminine, negative, feminine, dark, feminine. I don't know. I don't really resonate with that. I don't resonate with that, but it is how we are being taught. So the sun is the light, is consciousness, and then the moon is darkness. And the moon is feminine, the sun is masculine. Anyway, according to me, that's bullshit, the last part. But let's just say that every full moon we have an opportunity to tap into what is not seen, what is dark, and is brought to light, because there is some sort of awareness or light of consciousness that is being reflected onto a darker side.
So is that why we could be feeling a little more emotional at this point, or things are coming up that need to be resolved, or
yes,
that the energy?
Always full moons tend to bring things out, and relationships have a lot to do with full moons, because the sun and the moon are the two luminaries. Like I said, feminine, masculine, and yang, and they tend to, every full moon they oppose, so we see this as a metaphor for any conflict or opposition we have in real life with anyone we are involved with. And full moons tend to bring more relationship issues or times to deal with relationship stuff, whether the relationship is with a family member, a business relationship, or it's a romantic one. So full moons are more sensitive, I would say, because we become more aware. And every time we see something and we become conscious of something, we have to swallow first the uncomfortable information that is being presented. Because when we speak like this, we don't mean that we see something about someone else, we see something about ourselves. So that's the whole point of a full moon, to bring awareness and bring clarity on stuff that is hidden. And usually through someone else we become more awakened and enlightened about ourselves. And full moons are good for that.
So it's good for bringing out the shadow self and for allowing it to come forth.
And we do that just by listening and being aware, paying more attention. And when we go to the phases of the moon, we'll understand why the full moon is basically that time when we can achieve more awareness than other times.
So with the full moon, just so I understand, because I'm such a novice, and maybe our listener too, the full moon lasts like 3 days, right? So would you consider tonight, even though tomorrow is the actual full moon, tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday would be the full moon phase?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes. So the moon moves like 2.5 days through every sign of the zodiac, and it changes shape. So if you just need to follow the sky, to just look at the sky for 28 days for a lunar cycle, and see how it changes shape, and it's going to change the sign as well, the constellation. And 3 nights, 3 days, 3 nights, we are affected by the energy of the full moon, by the intensity of it. Then the moon starts to spread its light, I say, to give away its light.
Oh, okay, I like that idea. So it gets, it's less full, but it's
Less
giving
full.
away its light. Oh,
Yes.
That's a new way to put it. I like that.
Well, I need to put it like this so people can understand the phases, basically, of the moon, and how life on Earth emerged, how it developed based on the sky. Because, I mean, you can argue this as much as you want, but we started life on Earth having a relationship with the sky. We had
Nothing else.
nothing else.
Yeah.
So the only constantly moving thing, but also very reliable movement, was in the sky. And the ancients, they would observe what we do today with everything else. They observed and they saw the moon moves and changes form, and it's very constant in its changes. And then the sun also changes. I mean, it brought seasons in different parts of the world. Even here, mango season, avocado season,
Yeah.
or
Our seasons come in fruits.
yes. So, and then Venus would be a planet, a wanderer that would disappear and then come back. When it's retrograde, disappears and it comes back as a morning star, very bright, and then when sometimes it's an evening star. So there are these movements of the planets.
I mean, if we can even just reflect, just pause for a second to just take ourselves back, a couple of 100 years where there's no light, there's nothing that we're used to. All we had, most people were living, outside and in nature, and the only thing you had to look up at or see that was changing was the night sky. Yeah.
I don't know how many of us nowadays have the experience of being under the sky where there is no light pollution. I am offering to myself that experience as often as I can. So you are going to be amazed by how beautiful and magical, but how much light and how much activity is going on in the sky when there is absolutely no light surrounding you, but just the sky.
That's one of my favorite things to do in Treasure Beach or Shakti Home. I mean, the sky there is so luminous, and you're like a falling star every 10 minutes. And there's so much action going on up there, but we are only staring at Netflix and screens.
Like even now, if you go outside, in the last 2 nights it was there, the moon was very close to 2 bright stars.
Yes, I saw
that were Saturn and Jupiter, and they are still in the sky.
Yes.
So now it's very cloudy here, but it's like a very tiny distance between the moon and this bright, and these are planets, the Saturn and Jupiter.
Okay, so we did the full moon, and then after that, those 3 days, so as of Tuesday, we move into the new moon.
No, not really. After 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll shut up.
So the full moon, we have full visibility of the moon, and then if you research, if you observe it, it's going to spread its light. It's going to give away its light after the full moon towards the new moon. There are 2 weeks in between them, 14 days, and it goes through different cycles. And I won't talk about every phase of the moon. I won't go into specifics, but a week after the full moon, you're going to see a quarter moon in the sky. So the moon is sharing its light, sharing its knowledge, everything it had learned, everything that it absorbed at a full moon, and it spreads it, it gives it away. And this week after a full moon, it's the time when whatever project we have completed at the full moon, we need to liberate it, to give it, to share it. So we speak more, we impart information, knowledge, we send the email, we do the social media, so we push it away. We don't work on it anymore. It's not private, it's not something that I'm building because I have built it, it's completed, so I'm spreading it and giving, I'm offering, it's my offering to the world.
So what you're saying is, ideally, starting tonight in this until a week from now, is a fertile ground for creation or coming up with ideas or kind of going inside.
No, really, that happens more in the new moon.
Oh,
the full moon is completion. It's complete. It's there.
So it's there. So now we get to share it.
Yes, but the 3 days of a full moon, we are bombarded with information and awareness. So we kind of see where the mistakes are, what we need to improve, because we have the full picture. It's like, imagine we come into the house and there is no light, and slowly I bring more light, I bring candles, and you start seeing, but you don't have the full image. And then we turn on the lights, all the lights.
Right.
And that's the full moon. And then you can look around for 3 days and you say, okay, we need to move that and that and that, and this is good. And this is how this relates to this. So we have complete information on a full moon, and we can adjust after the full moon. So from Tuesday onwards, up until you're going to see a quarter moon in the sky. So it's like the way you see it now, the whole moon, it's going to be half in a week.
Okay.
Until that point, you have time to correct everything and then share the thing that you have worked on. And then the next week, when the moon is going to spread even more light and give away more light from its quarter form until there is no light in the sky. That is basically rest, cleanse, detox, give away, push away everything, because we have to prepare for a new cycle, for a new beginning.
Okay.
Which will happen on New Moon. So full moon completion, I see what I've been doing, I can correct, and then I can share it. I can give it, this giving away, what I mean by this, and maybe it's my philosophy, other astrologers would talk in a different way. We create something, but it doesn't belong to us. We think it does because of how much money and whatever and status, but it doesn't really belong to us. It belongs to the world. We create something for someone. We create for. It's not ours to keep it like this. Mm-hmm. We have to release it. The energy has to flow. That's why I'm using this language. So you work on a package for your clients. Mm-hmm. From new to the full moon, you work on it. You see it at the full moon. You do a test. You do an experiment. You see what needs to correct, and then you release it. You send it, and you put it out there. And after
very interesting.
After the quarter moon, after you release it, after you get feedback from whoever needs to, you are going to rest, and the project is going to rest because you finalize with it. It's out there.
You've set it free.
Yes, you set it free.
Set it free. Okay.
Yes.
So just to get specific, and so I put it in my brain. So that would be sort of sometime at the beginning of next week that you would put it out there and set it free.
I would say maybe Wednesday or so.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday. So up until Wednesday, you will see what needs to be sorted out around this project. And maybe we should have said,
so interesting.
Maybe we should have started with new moons are times of conception, and we start something new. But I want to be more specific than that. By now, probably you know the zodiac signs if you're into astrology. So you know that we are in Leo season. This is a technical information that I suppose people don't really know. Every month we have a new moon in every sign. So August, I don't remember, 16th or so, we're going to have a new moon in Leo. So every time we have a new moon in a new sign, and that happens once a year, we basically conceive and start and give birth or get pregnant with something about that sign and that area of the chart.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
Yes.
Did you guys get that? Can you repeat that one more time? Because normally for the lay person, we just think about, okay, it's Leo, it's full moon in Leo. But really we are absorbing the energy of Leo once per year.
Per year, as a full moon, once per year as a new moon.
Okay.
So it's very, very relevant to start something that has to, you need to have your birth chart in order to be that specific and that organized. But let's say you start something now on a new moon in Leo, which will happen in 2 weeks from now. Leo is about self-expression. What is unique about me that I am building up in a product, in a form, shape, idea, and I am releasing it or imparting it with the world. That's Leo. It's what in me is so special that I can make the world a better place. That's why Leo people tend to be on the stage, tend to be leaders, tend to be the one that we all follow because they have that capacity of being so special and confident and opening pathways for us leaders. They are leaders, inborn leaders. So where is the leadership in you? What are you very good at? What can you confidently say, I do this very well? Not because maybe you studied for 30 years or you have all the degrees in the world, but because you are very talented. Your heart is joyful and is free when you do that thing. When you are passionate, because Leo is a fire sign, is a fixed fire sign, it burns always inside your heart. What makes you joyful and alive? that is the space that could be created, could be initiated every year in August during the new moon in Leo.
I tell you, when you say, I'm just so excited because my mastermind group, which is a group that, a program I have that starts every Monday, we have another program that starts tomorrow night, Monday. And this theme of this month is purpose and passion. And tomorrow night, my guest teacher is my dear friend Nadine McNeil, who lives in Bali, who is a Leo and who is a master at helping people uncover their purpose and passion. So
she's such a beautiful person.
I know, I'm so excited.
She has some Libra in the chart, I remember. Maybe ascendant or something.
Yeah, she's amazing. So I think in astrology, I'm on the right track there.
You definitely are.
It's one of our. And so are all my masterminders who have signed up. So cool. So cool. All right. Okay. So what's the next phase of the moon?
So
we could be here all night. We do have to watch it time.
Yes, I know. So I'm forward.
We digress.
So we speak about the full moon. We speak about the quarter moon, which is a week from now, and then the new moon. No light in the sky. So watch the sky. When you see no light in the sky, first of all, you're going to feel a little bit more tired because it's the time when we really have to cleanse. And those 2-3 days when there is no light, they are so good to just release stuff and do emotional, physical detox. Just to go in nature, spend time in nature. Don't do anything that would require a lot of energy because you won't have it. And I say this not because I believe in astrology, it's because our bodies are very connected to the phases of the moon. If you don't believe me, just watch it for a few months.
Isn't it amazing? The cycle of the moon is 28 days. Most women's periods are 28 days, Yes.
So new moon conception. Things may not be so clear in our minds what we want to start, what we want to begin. You do need some counseling with that. That's why in the past, or not necessarily in the past, even now, people who are very committed to different things, they check with their astrologer every time. It's important to know how to utilize the new moon. So if you know your chart, new moons are about conceiving, starting, birthing, creating, initiating new projects within that particular energy of the sign.
So for instance, this month in the new moon, it would be about creating projects that more like have the Leo energy.
Yes, either leadership or creativity or kid. You wanna get pregnant is a good season for that. Leo.
Or what if you're just a householder, a mom with the family, and you're dealing with all the family dynamics,
You must have a hobby or something. You must be enjoying something. So maybe you wanna go back and study piano. Maybe you wanna start drawing. Maybe you go and open a business, a small business, or I don't know. You must have some sort of hobby or talent, and you want to take a year to create something more meaningful around that.
Okay, and so this is a great month to do that.
Because Leo is, like I said, it is the sign with passion, but it's also a fixed sign in astrology. It's committed. This is like the pure commitment of the heart, Leo season. So there's no other season when you can actually give your heart away towards something that is going to bring you joy.
Wonderful. Guys, this is such a rich and fertile soil for creating something new in your life. So many of us have had to have a big life change forced upon us. So, don't let it get you down. See it as an incredible opportunity for transformation to the next level in your life.
So after the new moon, we have 2 weeks while the moon is absorbing, is catching light again until the full moon. And those 2 weeks are all about action, pursuing action. So 1 week after the new moon, you have a quarter moon in the sky as well, and then you have a full moon. 2 weeks of working very hard towards something. 2 weeks of getting out of the bed in the morning, not giving yourself too much time to rest, but moving. Because the energy is like building. The full moon comes again. You are aware, you see it all, you see where you need to correct, you see where you need to give away, or what you need to give away. So it's a very interesting cycle of I create, I build up, I'm aware, I see it, and then I correct, I do whatever improvement, and I release, I let go. The moon teaches us to start and let go all the time, 28 days. it's
How brilliant to have this magical calendar in our lives, right? And to, I'm going to commit right here, right now, for this next 4 months that we have committed to show up for you guys, to start to be more consulting the moon towards the work that I do and the way that I work. So you see if we can, start a little movement and see if there is a difference in just how our lives flow with a little bit more ease and effortlessness.
Yes, and you don't need to go very deep into the native chart or whatever to go into a story. You just have to combine the sign a little bit, because if you know that August, and you do this you did it. Sharon just gave away her offerings for free in the month of August. So she's very generous, and Leo is a very, very generous sign. Not that she would be a Leo, but in the Leo season, she naturally felt to be very generous, and to be very generous with what? With her talent in teaching and offering this amazing knowledge you have and wisdom. And why didn't you do it next month? Why did you do it in the Leo season? Why did you have to be so generous and to basically to help people become passionate, become in alive again?
Yeah, we've all been so kind of dead, and it's really a time to become alive, to find out what makes us come alive and lean in towards that.
Why didn't you do it last month in Cancer, where everybody was crying at home and cooking and eating emotionally? Why didn't you do it in September, when you have to detox and cleanse and
I don't know.
You did it in Leo season. So that's what I'm saying. When people are connected, like, I'm amazed as an astrologer how people who actually do the real thing, and they are aligned with their self, and they are living life. I'm not sure what to say. It's not like you know everything, because you don't, but you trust.
You trust. And you trust too sometimes to just take a walk on the wild side. I mean, when I told my kids I'm going to go to a webinar on astrology, like, Mom, you're so weird, Mom, Yes, to modern day world, this is a little out there, right? But, nothing else seems to be working very well, is it? So why not try to go back to how we did it in the wisdom tradition? So, all right, so we've covered the phases of the moon. I feel like we need to go back to that as like another half-day workshop on that.
You also love talking about
right? I know, I love talking about it, but let's get into, because we don't have a lot of time left, this particular moon and how it affects you and your sign.
Okay, so I'm gonna go rapidly through what it means. It's a full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign that has to do with the tribe, community, and I believe a lot of the protests in the world, a lot of the things you see on the news, people going out and protesting and being together in groups, that's very much the Aquarius energy we are tapping into, and we are going to be very much into for the next 2.5 years, 2021, 2023. So it's a preview of the future. We can actually see these days through the news, through media, through what's happening in our life, through what kind of movement, so many things are happening on social media, all sorts of movements, and this is an invitation to go more into this humanitarian aspect of life that is ruled by Aquarius. Aquarius also it has to do with how we think, and the very rigid belief system or thought system, the way we think about the world, what we think about the world. Aquarius is an air sign, and it has to do with the head,
brain,
and ideas and thoughts, but it's very rigid, it's very strict. So this full moon, through whatever conversation you have or position with people in your life, whatever happens, you may become very aware of your own rigid thoughts and ideas, and how this prevents some special part of you, like a Leo part of you, a talent to come forth, someone recognizing your value, you receiving validation and applause for something you do, and you say, oh, I'm not doing that because whatever, you take that for granted. So there is this clash between an idea that is very fixed in your head, and it keeps you so blind, it keeps you so prisoner in that particular way of seeing.
I think that's what's being broken down right now. And I think you're right. This is going to come even more in this month.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think what we have been seeing over the last few weeks and months is anything. right? Like it's in this
It's
month.
like
It's
a
even,
build up every month. With every month, it's a build up. That's what I'm saying in the podcast, and I feel like a broken record because I want to say other things and I can't. The sky is just unfolding this story. So these 3 days, watch how you think and how rigid you are. Watch what you are preventing or what you are becoming aware of as your special talent. And also because the planet called Uranus is involved in this full moon, and Uranus is all about very shocking, disruptive changes, very fast, forward-thinking initiatives. We may actually go through a lot of change, or we may start change even unconsciously, or through in our space, change is being brought in, and it's going to disrupt the status quo. I don't think it's going to be very uncomfortable for the signs that are open to change. So let's say mutable signs like Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo, because they tend to adapt better to the environment, these changes and disruptions are not going to affect so badly.
okay, so the mutable signs, just to say, are Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces,
and Gemini.
So more flexible, more
Adaptable, not so clingy to the status quo,
not so rigid.
Not so rigid.
Okay.
So these signs, I think they can flow very well with anything that is going to change. The bad times may come for the fixed signs, which are Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and what did I miss? Water. No, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and
Capricorn?
no.
Don't ask me. Anybody knows? We're having a senior moment here. Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius.
So fire is Leo, air,
Yeah.
earth, Taurus. I'm
Taurus.
sorry, Taurus.
Taurus. How
you.
can we
I'm so
forget you,
sorry.
Taurus?
Oh, you know what? They really don't like change. So
Yes,
I have
I
like
know.
a blind moment.
I have a Taurus sun.
Earth,
Mercy.
yeah, fixed Earth is the hardest to change, to push towards change. So in these people's lives, especially if their planets are affected meaning like the sun, the moon, or Uranus or other planets are really touching your own planets, it may feel like you have no air to breathe. Like how can I'm not willing to, I can't change. I don't want to change. I don't want to do these things. And the energy of change, the energy of things collapsing around you and things not being the way you knew them.
Are those the type of people that always say, I can't wait for things to get back to normal, and you're kind of thinking, oh my God, we're never going to get back to normal. That kind of thing?
Not necessarily, because I have many friends who are fixed signs and they are very aware and awakened to improvement and moving forward. But literally the how of the change is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So they will tell you, while I create a change every year or every 6 months, they will create a change once in 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And they will acknowledge that I can change faster, or I don't need so much anchoring, while they tell me it took me 3 years to become a vegan or a vegetarian. It's just so hard for me to not. So it's like the energy doesn't move slowly. It needs to be pushed. It can be psychological, like a fear. It can be, I don't know, energy.
It's just, and they have so many strengths. So it's
Yes,
just,
yes.
those signs have so many strengths.
It's fixed signs, whether it's air or earth or fire, they are extremely reliable and solid, and they have an endurance that cardinal signs like us, they don't have it. They really can go through a lot, and they are clinging to, probably taking more than they should.
Mm-hmm.
And you should share it.
So share.
Share to IGTV.
Okay.
Mine too.
Hold on, guys. We gotta do some technology here. So give it a title.
We can do this after.
Okay. So just post it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Then I take it.
You keep going, huh? You keep going.
Okay. So we spoke about the fixed signs and the mutable signs. Now the cardinal signs, they have a little bit of a trouble, not necessarily because of this full moon, but because of what is happening in the sky with the Capricorn planets, and that's a longer story. So Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, especially if you are born at the end of the season of these signs, which means like in the last 10 days, you may have overall a very hard time in 2020 because a lot of changes are necessary in your life.
Great. More changes. Ah.
Do we have any questions in your group?
Let me check right now. Let's just post this.
Oh, they can't hear us very well. Look.
What's going on? I need glasses. Okay. Volume to max. Okay, volume. Gosh, I hope you guys can hear us now. Okay. Get on here. Shoot. Didn't check on that. Oh, I know. All right. Let me go back here live. Okay, they're posting. Okay, so let's continue, Alina. Hopefully people can hear us a little better now. Bringing this a little closer. Okay. So
we spoke about
we're now into the fire signs, yeah. Or what do you call them? What's the Aries and
the cardinal signs.
Cardinal signs. Yeah, okay.
And I spoke about them in the sense that they are not so necessarily affected so much about this full moon, but they are affected in general. Oh yes, it's because we just moved the laptop closer to us. That's why you can hear it. Oh, they really didn't hear us too well.
No, are you kidding?
I see a few messages.
Oh gosh. Hi guys, we are back. I am so sorry if we didn't hear. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll talk up and we'll finish up. Yes, and we'll do it again. So don't worry.
So for all signs, this is about change, and it's about becoming aware of what special side of you, what special part of you needs to be brought into awareness, and it needs to be spread with the world, offered to the world. It's also about becoming aware of our mindset and belief systems that are too rigid and what prevents us from opening up to maybe it's vulnerability. Maybe there are things that we are very, very afraid to acknowledge, and because we think in a certain way that keeps us safe and protected from whatever risk we need to take. This month for all signs, but especially the cardinal ones, Cancer, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, things are going to feel uncomfortable because of different planets involved. I did a podcast today about the month of August, so you may want to check that out.
Where can they find that? Like just go on to podcast?
No, it's easier if you go on my IG page, Alina Apostol, and then I have the link in bio with my podcast and also different posts with the podcast information.
I'm going to just write it in the chat too so people can know exactly where to go.
So if you are a Libra, an Aries, Cancer and Capricorn, be very compassionate with yourself, be very kind with yourself, because things are really
spelling correct,
shifting. Yeah, that's okay. Things are shifting. There is something that you need to let go, to finish, to complete, to close. Probably relationships are very affected for all of you this year, but also foundation. From the point of view of foundation, the cardinal signs that they really have to make up what are they building and what they are anchoring their energy, because what's going to happen in the next years is going to be dependable on the level of foundation is sorted out this year.
So this year is for the cardinal signs is about building a strong foundation. Okay.
And correcting whatever doesn't work in the foundation that is already established.
Okay.
Because most people aren't going to start a new life because of 2020, but there are going to be areas of improvement that 2020 brought into our life to clear, correct, change, shift.
And that's kind of like the foundation of what's to come.
Yes.
Okay.
And
super interesting, my fellow Arians.
the fixed signs, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Now, for them this year, this month and this year are not that bad, but what's going to happen the next 2 years, a lot of shift and change is going to happen. So even if this year doesn't bring a lot, it's almost like a resting time, a peaceful time, or organizing, building up, making sure everything is fine. So energetically, you may not be so cold or pushed into doing different things. Although if you are a Taurus and you are born in the first 10 days or 15 days of Taurus, you may have some disruption going on because the planet Uranus is going through there. But overall, things are not going to be so crazy as the next years are going to be. And the mutable signs are okay. They're just going with the flow.
They're flexible.
Yeah, flexible. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. A lot to ponder. And so interesting. And every time I listen to Alina, I just learn a little bit more, or I become a little bit more aware. And I highly recommend you getting a reading with Alina. So what she would need from you is your birth time. That's always so difficult, right?
Yeah.
Why are those not recorded on birth certificates? Like mine doesn't have it. I had to ask my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had a hard time remembering when my 3 children were born. But so you need to know the location of your birth and, of course, the time of your birth.
And the date,
And it's just it's fun. It's fun. It's interesting. It's eye-opening. And it's just another tool in this vast toolbox of life that I just truly believe a lot of the old paradigm and a lot of the old ways of dealing with your life are no longer serving us, and that just maybe this is a time, maybe the yogis, the ancient yogis and masters and teachers knew something that we don't know, and maybe it's a return to the ancient wisdom and ancient traditions. So I think she's amazing. Maybe you have an astrology friend, astrologist in your life. But I do think this time on Earth is a very pivotal time to kind of reconnect with the energy of the celestial beings and just be open to what's there. What is it that we can learn? Because that is how we guided our lives in the past. So why not go back there to something that was tried and true for millennia, for millions of years, not just, a couple of years.
It's also very healing in itself. With or without astrology, just by connecting with the sky is very healing. With the moon and just watching the faces and understanding how your body negotiates with the universe, or the universe is trying to give a lot of information and you are rejecting it, or you are just not aware of it. It's such a beautiful process of rediscovering yourself and reinventing yourself. And to be honest, as a psychologist, I can definitely say that our problems exist in here. Like this is every day. I'm blessed to live in Jamaica, which makes it easier.
Yes, it's easier. But we're all spiritual beings going through a human experience, and just being able to understand it from new perspectives is so great. And being able to take the practices of yoga and meditation to often every day drop out of hair and into hair, where you're able to drop the veils and the illusions and be able to see life more clearly, is so beautiful and so necessary. So I have a challenge for you guys. All right, tomorrow is the full moon. Why not take a moon bath? Why don't we all take a moon bath tomorrow night? So this is something that I normally do. I'll make a post about it tomorrow. But normally, so I have loads of crystals at home, and normally on a full moon, I will put my yoga mat outside and put all the crystals out and wash the crystals, so bathe the crystals as well. And just really just lie under the light of the moon. That's it. Maybe do a meditation or just lie there and just breathe, or yoga nidra. So why don't you take a moon bath tomorrow night with a friend and or without, and just connect your heart to the heart of Mother Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always call him Father Moon, but you just said he's Mother Moon. So Mother Moon, the wise, illuminating, ever-present, omnipresent full moon that is always there, whether it's full or there is no light at all. It's always there, watching over us.
So many stories we could say about them, and so many make sense stories, but maybe another time.
Another time. So we're going to do this again at the beginning of next month, the night before the next full moon, which will be in September. Oh my God, this year is just flying away.
So until then, Leo season, self-create yourself, express yourself through something that is creative, is passionate, is joyful for you, even if it's tiny and small, even if you don't want to bother with it, do something simple, small, that is going to show you how talented you are. If you don't know you are talented, ask people around you, because they know you are talented at something. They will tell you.
Good, and then just start what we call a prototype. You just take a little small inspired action for this month and put it out to the world. That's exactly what I'm doing right now with these free classes in August. So I hope everyone has signed up for my offering of one full month of free classes, because it's really, this is so strange that you're saying all of this, but I wanted to use August as a month to put my classes out to the world so that as many people could experience them, because my intention, my goal, my dream is to create an online yoga, fitness, and spiritual community.
This is Leo, Sun, Full Moon in Aquarius. Something special that is offered out of generosity with many, with the group, with the community.
Yes. So I just feel like it's more than ever, community has to be, and virtual community for now has to be our new reality. Yes, in certain places of the world, and as time goes on, yes, the live classes and the live community will be possible, but it will be more the exception than the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to really wrap my head around that. I mean, I was literally going to be looking for space to be opening up my yoga studio again. And now what I'm contemplating is creating the same experience that you had. If any of you knew Shakti Mind Body Fitness, my yoga and fitness and spiritual center in Kingston that I had for 14 years, that there was an incredible sense of community and energy there. And so what I'm trying to create is this same feeling, but online, so that you have one place to go to for your yoga, for your meditation, for your fitness, and most of all, for the art of living a truly spiritual life. So with guest teachers like Alina and McKenna Sage, that's coming up this month, and Mandy Bent, talking about tantric yoga and using meditation to improve your sexuality. I mean, I have so much juicy stuff coming up for you. If you want more information, click the link right there that says call to action, or click the link here on Instagram, and please reach out to Alina on Instagram. DM her if you're interested in a reading. She can do it over Zoom, wherever you are in the world. And I'm telling you, this is the most opportune time to be doing this. She's amazing. I love her. And stay tuned for next month.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone, for all the multiple screens that we have. And have a beautiful evening, and go shine your lights. All right. And I meet you in our virtual, not our virtual, we will energetically be taking a moon bath together tomorrow night, wherever we are. Namaste.